Welcome to the first episode of RailTarget.eu. I am excited to welcome here CEO Josef Gulyás from company CZ Loco. I have prepared a few questions related to rail transport and company CZ Loco. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's begin. Recently you have had success to expand abroad. Companies Italian CLF, Polish PKP Intercity, or Scandinavian Glens, or your locos. What is the secret of your success?
The success of, let's say, today, or today's success, we need to go back to the past, because basically our current success is connected to the past and, let's say, a well-prepared marketing and business strategy. This is one thing. And second thing is, obviously, we are in certain segment and we are concentrating on certain segment, which is universal and shunting locomotives. So the outcome was simply to build new portfolio, full TSI portfolio. If we are talking about the TSI, what is it? What does it mean? That means technical specification of interoperability. So currently, CZ Loco possess this type of the vehicles that in the end we can use in whole Europe or European Union. That's the key, I think.
Recently you have had success to expand abroad. Companies Italian CLF, Polish PKP Intercity, or Scandinavian Glens, or your locomotives. What is your secret of your success?
Yeah, our biggest advantage, I think, that's our speed, our flexibility, our potential to a little bit, let's say, risk against those main players like Bombardier, Siemens, or Alstom. Again, we are basically and mainly in the segment of shunting universal locomotives. That's our specialty. That's why I think that we are so successful. This is one thing. Second thing is localization. If we are talking, for example, about the Balkan Peninsula or even eastern countries in Europe, that necessity to be there is to have a service support, to have a local support. So we are quite open for the cooperation in the local partners. On the contrary of the companies like Siemens, for example, there are always strict rules, strict approach, etc. So that's why I think that's added value of CZ Loco. That's why I think that in this segment, this is Loco so successful.
Where would you like to expand in the future?
That's not really secret, because we signed already contract to Northern Europe, especially to Sweden. So our plan is to go to Sweden. Our plan is to go to Norway, because we have also already locomotives in Finland. But then afterwards we are heading to the west. So basically we started as a Central European company in the west, in the east, and then we are heading to the west. So right now we're dealing with some companies in Belgium, in Netherlands. Obviously there is the plan to be in Germany. I'm not right now talking about somebody like Deutsche Bundesbahn, but for sure companies, private ports, private companies, private operators, and again especially in the segment of shunting universal locomotives.
The most serious locomotives is Efficientor 1000. What are its benefits and why is it so popular among your clients?
Well, the Loco itself, and again back to that segment which we are in currently, the Loco itself, Efficientor 1000, is the most modern Loco on the market currently. So that means this is one thing. Second thing is, as I mentioned from the very beginning, the Loco itself is approved for whole European Union. That's why that gives us advantage to be all over the Europe, and then efficiency of the maintenance. Because, for example, these locos and the first phase or stage of the maintenance begins after 30,000 kilometers, which is, I think, a good advantage. And then our current possibility to service locomotives on site. That's why.
Do you prepare your locomotives for a new generation independent system? For example, automatic train driving control and so on?
The question is whether yes or no. For sure, yes. for the future. Right now, currently we are focusing to create, let's say, hybrid portfolio, because currently we are mainly diesel company, or let's say provider of the diesel electric locomotive, diesel electric solutions. All of us know that heading of Europe is currently somehow to the green, let's say, if we are talking about something like Green Deal or let's say friendly environmental solutions, etc. That's why CZ Loco is preparing also locos for the hybrid solutions or dual solutions. So currently are focusing to that. We are right now building the first 4 locomotives which we already signed with the Italian operator Mercitalia Shanding and Terminali. Those will be dual locomotives in the combination of the traction systems as an electric locomotive and diesel, with the possibility to afterwards, for example, exchange that combustion internal engine for the Akku battery pack. But we are launching, let's say, our new hybrid portfolio with a new line as a hybrid shunter, as a dual shunter. We should start 2023 and finish, let's say, 2026. But for sure, it's going to be the combination of the Akku battery drives, then catenary drives, and then diesel electric combustion engines. But for sure, the question to be on the field that there will be remote controls, for example, for the locomotives, or driverless locomotives. That's for sure the future. So we will be there as well. But like I said, right now, currently, hybrid solutions.
The company CZ Loco offers to rent the locomotives in CZ Loco Easy Rent. The client can even rent the locomotive only for a few hours. How does it work?
Simply, just to pick the phone, call the manager of the Easy Rent rental of CZ Loco, and simply to pick loco that is, let's say, free. And there is a free slot for the rental of this loco. Obviously, goal was simply to create for the market solution, not for the long-term period, but also in the extreme situation, just for the hours. That means it must be easy because even the name of the Easy Rent is set like that. So just through the manager, simply to have a free slot, and then loco itself is free to go. There is necessity, obviously, to train the operators. When the operators are trained, that's, let's say, immediate. That's the condition. That's the condition to be on the market with this type of the solution, this type of the services.
One of your actions is also modernization of older locomotives. Are your clients interested about the service?
For sure, yes. The modernization programs, that's the specialty of the, let's say, Eastern Bloc. If we are right now talking about the modernization, we are talking about especially Czech Republic, Slovak Republic, Poland, and mainly Eastern Europe. Because the Western Europe is for the long time, I mean decades, they are concentrating on the new production. But for sure, this is the part of our job. We done currently more than 300 locomotives, for example, to the Eastern market. But basically, modernization process, modernization procedures, that's connected with the localization of the production. In our case, we've been successful so far in Lithuania, Latvia, for example, Estonia. Right now, also we are opening the Ukraine or Belarus, but the conditions is simply transferring the part of the production to that country. That's the part of the job. So that's again one of advantages of CZ Loco solutions. On the other hand, I have to say that current legislature in European Union simply pushing us all to the new production, because basically right now the difference, for example, between the homologation procedure of the modernized loco or new loco is practically the same. So that's just a matter of time when Central Europe in the first place, and afterwards subsequently the Eastern market will go for the new production as well. because basically modernization project, there are certain technical limitations. And then for sure, in the couple of next years, even new locos and the performance of the new loco and the ratio between the price and performance, if we consider long term, I mean, in the, for example, long cycle cost, that means for sure new loco will win. So that's the way how Germany, how, for example, Italy is doing that. But that's what is coming for sure. But on the other hand, it would be reasonable from our side to simply go off from the market. Obviously, the solutions are here, will be here once it is feasible for our clients.
And my last question is, what do you think about ETCS and how do you solve this issue in your company?
If it is personal question, it's very hard to answer. But on the other hand, as a CEO of CZ Loco, I have to say that we can resist, we can even protest, we can say we are not accepting that, but that's the rules. And the rules are set by European Union, and that's it, by the legislature. The thing is that currently all brand new locomotives made by us or anybody else, according to TSI rules, according to TSI specifications, must be equipped with ATCS from the very beginning. That means all new locos, they are from production from CZ Loco is already equipped by the ATCS. That means it is essential. It must be there. There is no question about that. Question number 2 is about how to equip those locomotives that are already on the market, because there are for sure locomotives on the market from the past, from the producers in case of Czech Republic, like Škoda Plzeň in the past, like CKD Prague in the past, or whoever. Then again, we are concentrating on our own production. So also equip the locomotives by ATCS or with ATCS on the locos they are already in the operation. That's also part of our job. But again, we are going to concentrate only on locomotives made by us. We already won the tenders with ČD Cargo. We already won the tenders for PKP Cargo International, for example, Orlen Group as well. But what is essential to say, everything is covered by us. We are totally self-sufficient because that's needs. Obviously, maybe from the very beginning it was the pressure from the main players like Alstom, like Bombardier. But on the other hand, once you are as a producer enabled to do this type of the job, simply there is no place for you on the market. That's it. That's easy as it is.
Thank you for your time and attendance, and I wish you good luck with your business.
Thank you and take care.